Hello children, today let's see the second part of our video for chapter 8, that is body movements, and in this chapter we are going to discuss about the gait of animals. The meaning of gait of animals is how they move from one place to another. That means what is their mode of locomotion, how they move from here to anywhere, either by walking, flying, crawling, slithering, etc. So let's have a look one by one. First, earthworm. Earthworms do not have bones in their body. The body of earthworm is made up of many rings joined end to end. In this picture, you can see these are the rings that make up the whole body of the earthworm, and it moves by the expansion and contraction of its muscles. Expansion means elongation of the muscle, and contraction means again it is brought back to its original shape or becomes small in size. Under the body of the earthworm, you will find large number of tiny bristles. Can you see these small bristles or needle-like structure? These help the earthworm to get a proper grip on the ground so they can move forward. Just like the shoes, your shoes, if you will see that at the bottom of your shoes, it will have some type of pattern that help in the grip, and it doesn't let you fall or get slip on the surfaces. If it withers away, then you might slip. So the same work is done by these tiny bristles on the body of the earthworm. So with the help of this video, let's have a look how an earthworm actually moves. Here you can see an earthworm. It is elongating its front body. Then the front body, with the help of the bristles, get a good grip on the ground, and then the back part is pulled forward. Just have a look in the video. The front part moves or expands, get a grip on the ground, then it pulls or contracts its body so that the lower or behind part of its body is pulled in the front. So the earthworm is moving by the help of expansion and contraction of its body muscles, where the rings of the muscles are there and the tiny bristles helps to get a good grip on the ground. Snail. A snail moves with the help of contraction and relaxation of its thick muscular foot. This part is actually a thick muscular part or body of the snail, and this part is called as the foot. This is the hard shell, we can say, the hard shell or exoskeleton of the snail. These two, and at the bottom also it has total 4 tentacles, and a snail moves by again contraction and relaxation of its muscular foot. Let's have a look in the video. Here a snail is slowly moving. You must remember that a snail produces a slimy liquid or fluid. This fluid helps the snail in easily gliding over any surface, even on the sharp edge of a knife or a blade. A snail can easily glide through it, or you can say crawl through it without getting any cut or injury. Here you can see how it is elongating or relaxing its front part, then contracting to pull the back part of its body. And can you see some slimy liquid on its body and on the flower through which it just passed across? This slimy liquid helps in the smooth movement of the snail. Next is cockroach. A cockroach have 3 pairs of legs for walking and 2 pairs of wings for flying. A cockroach can fly as well as walk as a mode of its locomotion. Can you see? These are the 3 pairs of the legs and it has 2 pairs of wings on its body. This is called the antennae or antenna of the cockroach. Its body can be divided into 3 parts: the head part and this chest part called thorax and the bottom part called abdomen. So a cockroach have thick outer or exoskeleton which is made up of many scales. If it will open its wings, you will see it has many connected plates of outer or exoskeleton, and it has many types of muscles. The muscles which is near the leg helps the cockroach in walking, while the muscle of the body helps the cockroach to move its wings while flying. Next is birds. The birds have 2 legs for walking and perching and 2 wings for flight. They have hollow bones, that is called pneumatic bones, that make their body light in weight. Birds such as duck and swans have webbed feet that helps in swimming. So birds will have, just like us, 4 limbs. Like we have 2 hands, our hands are the forelimb, and 2 legs, they are called hind limbs. The 4 limbs of the birds are modified into their wings. The shoulder bones and the chest bone and the muscles in the shoulder and the chest muscles, they help the bird to move their forelimb and control their flight. So a bird have very strong chest bones and muscles which help them to move their wings during their flight. Then they have pneumatic bone. Pneumatic bone means they have hollow part in their bones. Here you can see the comparison between a human bone and a bird bone. A human bone is completely filled with mass and bone marrow, whereas when you will see a bird bone, it has certain air pockets. That means these are empty cavities. It has hollow parts in it, and that makes the weight of the body of the birds light, so they can easily fly. Next is, there are some birds which are expert in swimming. For example, duck and swans. So in their feet, they have this web-like structure which help them in swimming. Next is fish. Fish have streamlined body shape. You must remember, streamlined body shape means that the front part and the back part, or both the end, will be tapered or narrow. It will be, as you can see here, it is narrow. This part is narrow and the front part is also narrow, but the middle part is broad. Here also the front part narrow or tapered, then it gets broader in the middle, again it gets tapered. So this shape is called streamlined body shape. The streamlined body shape helps to resist any friction or resistance. That means it helps the fish to swim swiftly in the water. The water will just flow from the side and doesn't provide much resistance to the fish, so they can smoothly swim through the water. How a fish moves in the water actually? That is with the help of its fins and tails and sharp alternative curves made by its body. In the picture, you try to See carefully. What does a fish do? First, it moves or curves its head part in one direction while the tail part is curved in the opposite direction. Then the fish will, with a jerk, move its head part in the opposite direction. Here it was towards the left side, and it will curve its head again with a jerk towards the right side, and also the tail, which was first towards the right side, will be curved towards the left side. So this curve movement, alternative movement of the head part and the tail part, jerk and pushes the body of the fish forward, and it moves through the water. The fins and the tail help the fish in its movement and also balancing its body. One interesting fact you should know is fishes have air bladders inside their body, and the air bladder and the amount of the air present in the air bladder controls the height in which the fish is. That means if they have more amount of air in the bladder, they will float up, they will come towards the surface of the water, and if the amount of air is lessened, that means they release some amount of air, it will again go down. So how they control the height in which they are inside the water? That is with the help of the air bladder. Next is snake. Snakes also have a streamlined body. Can you see, children? Its head part is pointed, its tail part is also pointed, and in comparison the middle section is quite broader or wider, and such type of shapes are called streamlined. So snakes, birds and fishes have streamlined body that help them to move faster. Like us, a snake also have a backbone, but the backbone of the snake is very long and it has several muscles attached to its backbone, ribs and all. The snake's body curves into many loops. Here can you see 1 loop, 2 loop and 3 loop. The body of the snake is making 3 loops here, and a snake moves with the help of these loops only. When the snake is moving, each loop pushes the ground and jerks the body forward, and as many loops are there, as many force will be put, and the snake can move very fast. With the help of this video, let's try to understand. So this is the backbone of the snake. The snake makes many loops. The body is curved into many loops. Here in the video, can you see it is making the loops, and the loops are pushing the body of the snake forward. So they move very fast, but never in a straight line. As the snake moves, curves, it doesn't move in a straight line, and the loops pushes the body of the snake, pushes the ground and jerks the body towards the forward, so that the snake can move. As it makes many loops from its body, many loops with its body, it has a very high speed. Children, you must know that yoga is very good for our health. Yoga is an invaluable gift of the ancient Indian tradition. The United Nations declared 21st June as International Day of Yoga. As yoga keeps a person healthy, it helps in keeping the backbone erect, enabling you to sit straight and not slouch. Sitting in ill positions or slouching can lead to many back problems. Many postures in yoga require you to lift your own weight, which help in making the bones strong and help ward off osteoporosis. Osteoporosis is a disease of the bones where the bones become very fragile and it can easily break. It also helps in relieving joint pain, which is mostly observed in elderly people. You must have heard about arthritis, right? And you must have heard our elders complaining about joint pains. When they stand up or sit down, they have joint pains. So to avoid these joint pains, you can opt yoga. It tunes all muscles in the body and keeps them active. It keeps the heart healthy and makes it work more efficiently. Certain yoga postures should be performed under the supervision of a trained person. So there are many simple yogas you can do in your home which will help you to keep your body fit, make your body muscle and bone strong and your body very flexible, so that you can stay active throughout the day. So here we have come to the end of our chapter. I hope that you understood both the videos, the previous video as well as this one, and understood the chapter thoroughly. Go through your textbook and see that you don't miss a single point and understand the chapter completely. Thank you.